Yay, doing stuff.
I want to say they packaged it pretty well. I got a nice pine box or birch box to get rid of. Yeah, I'm not picking that up. The whole point of buying this gantry crane is so that I don't have to pick things up in the shop, you know. I'm getting older. I'm trying to set this up for my future back. I like fabricating and doing stuff in the shop, but I don't want to, you know, end the day and be in pain. So I'm going to set myself up now while I'm younger so that when I'm older, I'll have tools that'll help me. Sometimes I use new material and sometimes I have to use recycled material. The reason why I'm doing this is so I can extend the beam on both ends, and the finished product should be about 110, 111 inches between the posts, and that way I can get it over my car trailer. Check this out. It's a 2-inch flap disc and it goes on a die grinder. You can really get into some tight corners with it. The only thing I don't like is they don't seem to last very long, but if you need an option to get in a tight spot, these seem to be the way to go. This is where I made my first mistake. I tried to make it straight with the piece that I was attaching to, but it turns out that piece must have had a bow in it. I know it's not a grinder, it's a cutoff disc, but it works really good taking off mill scale. The welder I'm using only has a 30% duty cycle. That's why I'm starting and stopping. Another thing I should have done was probably worked on both ends and went back and forth, because I think I heated this whole end up. That's probably why it warped. Unfortunately, when you're making videos for YouTube, you try to be efficient when you're filming, and that changes your mindset a little. That's my excuse. This welding screen came in pretty handy. It kept all the shavings and all the stuff flying from getting all over everything in the shop. The die grinder cutting wheels seem to last longer, so I started using this to clean up all the paint and mill scale. I learned this trick watching Mo on 65 Ford. He does a lot of good stuff like this. I'm going to keep this in my mental toolbox for next time. I'm drilling this with the speed set at between 2 and 3. This drill's got way more power, but I don't like to spin my bits too fast when I'm cutting metal. This drill has a center pin that's spring loaded, but it only goes so deep. Looks like a 1/4 inch is its max. But once I remove this plug, you can continue and drill through the rest of it. Picture I'm trying to show you how much it warped after I welded it, but I'm not sure if it's because it was already warped and I just lined it up with the old piece or not. The main thing is the I-beam was still straight. Leave these loose for now until you get your cross braces on. Make sure everything is tight before you flip it up.
That was sketchy.
I ended up putting washers on as spacers to make up for the difference in the gap. I made the bottom of the post a little bit closer just so I can allow for some flex when it's under load. The power hoist came a little damaged, so I had to do some repair to that. I've had it in a box for over a year. I've strapped it here so the ladder won't go back and forth, and strapped it on this side. Then I strapped it up there, and then I got the hoist thing chained to it over here, and I just kept lowering or raising and lowering the beam until I could get that thing up there. That thing is super heavy, and that was the only way I could figure out how to do it by myself. Too bad it doesn't have a magnet. I think I could take that cover off and glue a magnet on here so I could stick it to the frame, you know, just like that. I decided to see what I can lift with it. This is a future project that's driving on here. I don't know when I'm going to get to it, but I got some ideas for this thing. With the power hoist on one side and the manual hoist on the other, I can work both sides without running around too much. It seems to work out pretty good.
Let's see.
I double checked both sides and it doesn't look like it flicks very much at all. It probably flicks more if I had something in the middle I was lifting that was heavy.
I'll have links to the tools in the description below. Not that you have to buy it, but just for a reference. Thanks for watching and keep it on the sunny side.